So I'm joined this morning by this esteemed panel who will each introduce themselves and explain their passion and why they are here today. So without further ado, let me introduce our next panelist, Mark Wingfield. Over to you, Mark.
Thank you, Joe. Hello, everybody. And I'm a bit of an obvious misnomer here, being a bloke, but I'm very much an ally of women. Just a quick potted history of me. I grew up very much in a male environment. I have two elder brothers, and my fabulous mum managed to corral us all together. Went to an all-boys school. And so why am I here? Well, because I can't stand prejudice, discrimination of any kind, whatever form it takes. And you won't really appreciate from the picture, but I'm not the biggest bloke in the world. My two brothers are much bigger. I grew up having to stand up for myself. Had to do that at school. I, like most people at school, received some kind of bullying, and people learned very quickly that you don't try and bully Mark Wingfield. So I then went away, and because I speak German, and I took a German sort of language option within my degree that I did, I mixed with all women, which was lovely. That was fantastic. So that's my first taste of really getting to know women properly, apart from my own mum. And I traveled a lot. I met lots of different cultures. I lived in Germany. I lived in the States. I mixed with all sorts of immigrant populations of all different colors and backgrounds and cultures, of religions and so on. And in my part-time, I've always had a hobby of martial arts since I was 17. And when I took voluntary redundancy from Caterpillar back in 2005, I thought, well, what do I do when this project I'm doing comes to an end? And so I focused on conflict, and particularly a lot of it self-defense, lone working, how to really help people in difficult circumstances, how to look after themselves, how to be assertive, how to keep people at a safe distance. And that's evolved into I've become a trauma therapist along the way. So those are a couple of things that I'm very happy to take any questions at all. And there's some free things I'd like to offer at the end of this as well that people can access to just enable you to calm down in the heat of the moment. If there is some kind of discrimination, if there is some kind of bias, whatever it might be, and also to keep people safe. Sarah Everard was mentioned. At the moment, I'm doing a series of self-defense workshops for kids at risk of sexual exploitation, for refuge, for a university, and I've done some various open courses recently. So it's very much a current topic here. Unfortunately, the statistics haven't changed since the awful murder of Sarah Everard and Nicole Smallman and Bieber Henry and various other people whose names have been forgotten. So there's much to do. So thank you very much indeed for allowing me to be here and the invitation. And I look forward to all the discussions. Thanks very much indeed, Joe.
I'd like to bring forward Mark again. Hello, Mark. Right.
Hi, Joe. Thank you.
Yes. So you said you were a male ally. You spoke at IWD events before.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts for the audience of how men can step up? We heard Sally say that many men are, but how do we tackle this #NotAllMen mantra that seems to be deflecting some really great work that people are doing?
It's an interesting question. And I was thinking when Sally said that, I thought, oh, actually, it might be useful to bring in a little study that was done some years ago. There was a study done in New York where a guy feigned a heart attack on the pavement. And people would walk past concerned, thinking, oh, somebody will help, somebody will do something. And most of the time they didn't. Then they recreated this experiment. And the guy feigned a heart attack, but whilst he was on the floor, he would go, "Are you over there? Phone the ambulance." And then people did something. And I think you need to talk to people about whatever issues you're going through. You need to make people aware, because some people just don't have the radar. They don't understand what's going on in your world. I put a post out earlier today about, I think I used the terminology, seeing the life through a woman's lens. Now, I can't claim to do that, but I've got an insight because I lived with a lot of women when I was a student. I've got 3 in the household now, until very recently, until the cat came along and my eldest daughter's boyfriend, I was completely outnumbered. So I've had the privilege of living and experiencing, working with women, in all sorts of shapes and sizes and varieties and environments. So I've had an insight that a lot of men haven't. And, you know, and I came from an all boys school, all boys in the family apart from mum. So it's quite possible to learn. And the statistic you had earlier about being ignorant, I think most men are just ignorant, frankly, or haven't had the education or the opportunity to learn about perspectives, you know, to understand what the menopause means, to understand what women go through on a monthly basis, that, you know, for some women, I remember a girl screaming in pain when I was a student. I thought, crikey, what's going on? And you know, just the perspective. So other useful things that people can do, you know, learn how to talk to people more assertively, you know, and have phrases ready. You know, I don't think you're meant to be so rude to me, would be one. There are lots more. To have a way of physically signaling with your body language that it's not okay to talk to an individual, whether they be male, female, of a particular color, culture, background, religion, whatever it happens to be, in a certain way. So, you know, just a simple hand. We all know what that means. That means stop. You can do that very subtly by just, you can't see it, I'll stand up, but have it by your hip, you know, as just a very gentle, actually, please don't talk to me like that. You can do that in the boardroom. You can do it on the shop floor. Yeah. That's a very, very simple indicator. It's not aggressive. It's saying, actually, hold on, stop. And you can develop that if it was in a personal safety situation. You can change it to, I'll get my angle right, there we go. Change it to that and use your voice appropriately, but have something that you can say when you're not feeling very confident, when you're feeling the pressure, freezing perhaps in the situation. People talk about the fight or flight, but actually a lot of people freeze and they don't know what to do because it's worrying. It's, you know, people are anxious, the brains don't work very well. And we're back to our mammalian system rather than anything else. So just knowing what to say under pressure, preferably go to somebody who does this sort of stuff under pressure so that you learn it under pressure, and then you're in a far better place. But just having a vocabulary, just having things to say, things that you're going to do, pre-plan this. If somebody is discriminatory in some way, or they say something that's not right, then indicate to them through your body language, through your actions, it's not okay. And, you know, I wouldn't want to go necessarily back to the Equality Act, where there's all of these are enshrined in law for 10 protected characteristics. But you've got that up your sleeve if you need it. And, you know, a subtle
Excellent.
word with somebody is far better, first off, than having to go through a tribunal or complain through your manager to their manager and, you know, all that sort of malarkey. So there's lots of practical things that people can do.